progress from virtual teaching to face-to-face interaction. All schools are in full compliance with the PPE protocol, and thus far we have not experienced any significant infection at our schools. All classes and grades are operating at different time intervals, and these intervals is in compliance with a 50% capacity as promulgated by the Department of Education. All classes are also operating with social distance in mind. However, the biggest concern we have is the social and psychological impact the pandemic may have on the social gathering and the interactions of our learners. Numerous meetings were held with the principals, also SMT staff members and FINCOM members, to do a consultative meeting with teachers to enable them to continue beyond the lockdown. We have also done consultative meetings in order to negotiate salary deduction and to deal with the financial recovery plan at all of our schools. As lockdown continues, schools are continuing experiencing serious financial constraints. This is as a result of parents not being able to meet the payment obligation due to their own financial constraints they are experiencing at home. Inasmuch as the UIF TERS contributed to the budgetary constraints, it could only alleviate these constraints for 3 months, and that unfortunately has come to an end. The backlash, however, is that even teachers are demoralized and stressed because many of them are unable to meet their debt obligations. We are appealing to all parents to be sensitive to the needs of teachers and to comply with their payment obligation. We also need to state that the school are in strict compliance with the PPE protocol and is in constant contact with the Department of Education. The challenges that we are experiencing, the issue of ownership poses a significant risk for our school and the conference. We have a pending CCMA case regarding an order of non-compliance with one of our institutions. The education director of all conferences has met together to make an official statement with regard to the issue of ownership. Reduction of salaries has also caused many teachers to become disgruntled, to the effect that they reverted to a walkout, and these classes could then not continue with the exams. The second wave of resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic is also posing a threat, especially in the Eastern Cape, with schools, one school already being closed for 10 days due to the coronavirus. As far as our achievements are concerned, the school collection rate at many of our schools are beginning to stabilize, and some schools even managing a collection rate to up to 80%. Government subsidies paid the last tranche, and the UIF TERS payment has brought a significant relief to many of our schools. All of our schools are fully operational and are busy with the final examinations as we speak. I'm also happy to announce that thanks to the Children's Ministry and the Sabbath School Department, many of our schools are enjoying exposure in the marketing and advertising arena. The Education Director also completed 2 training programs with LegalWise, respectively in the Protection of Personal Information Act, the POPI Act, and also the chairing of disciplinary hearings. These workshops will then be shared with schools in the new year, and workshops will be conducted in 2021. Since all of our schools now are registered as NPO, they now have to comply with the NPO Act, and as such, we have to convene AGM meetings at all of our schools. We've managed to conclude all our AGM meetings at our schools, and that went off successfully. The focus for next year will mainly be marketing and finding more income streams for our schools. The NPO constitution also needs to be revised to bring it in line with the concept constitution that was given by the South African Union Conference. And so our schools, in collaboration with the SAU, will be looking at revising the NPO constitution to comply with our Adventist education philosophy. I want to conclude by recognizing the commitment and the hard work, the loyalty of many of our teachers and administrators within our schools, in spite of serious financial constraints and heavy workload that has been placed on them. Ellen G. White states, "It is the teacher's ambition to inspire them with principles of truth, obedience, honor, integrity, purity of principles that will make them a positive force for the stability and the upliftment of society. He desires above all else to learn life's greatest lesson of unselfish service." And so I, in conclusion, just want to assure the Executive Committee that our schools are active, they are progressing, and we are now operating in the final stretch of the COVID-19 virus. Thank you so much for allowing me this